I'd like to talk to one of the boys. His name is Efren Gadingan.
Yeah, hello, ma'am.
Say hi. Hello. So, Efren, saan may muna katunan under Coach Luis? What have you learned?
At first, una when he was here at the first,
May, di ba May? You came in May?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah. My first impression of him because
When you first met him, what were you thinking?
I'm thinking that maybe he's strict because he's
Okay. Isog siya.
But
He's strict.
one maning
Dili ra?
pagka hinla ato pagkadugay-dugay mo ito ang iya ding mga kuan yang mga sanang
Taman.
ang iyang mga gihatag ka na mo kuan ba ma'am ning effective about sa team ra pud ma'am.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you get what she was saying, Luis?
To be honest, no. And I speak to them in English because speaking to them in English, it helps them.
Correct.
They continue to grow, they continue to learn.
Right.
And when they speak to me, they have to speak back to me in English, so that improves their English. Now, right there, I missed the entire conversation.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Efren's gonna do that, you know. I think Louis, you were working with the call center before.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And
I worked in communication call center. In fact, it was cell telephones. I really don't like to even carry a cell phone today because I was required to have one 24/7. But I worked in the call center, and it was a challenge working with people and have them growing.
Right. And communication to you is important. So the
Very
boys
important.
have to speak to you in English.
Very important.
That's also a way of practicing. So you guys, you have to speak to your coach in English, huh?
Yes.
So Efren, you're satisfied with what you're with what
Yes,
the
ma'am,
coach
I'm
is doing now.
as
You
of
are.
now, we are.
What about you boys? Are you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Dean.
When Lou was introduced as the head coach, they were not very happy.
Because what do you think?
Well, in my own experience as a football coach here, I know that many of the players in the early years were not very happy with me either because the level of expectation is very different. Lou and I actually expect players to show up at practice.
Not all coaches expect their players to show up. Huh?
No, unfortunately not. And we also have consequences if they don't show up.
All right.
Lou is not as evil as I am.
What would you do, Dean?
I'm you know,
He's tough.
I'm Hannibal Lecter when it comes to coaching. I learned from my past coaches there are many ways to inflict pain without actually doing it yourself.
Okay. And are you effective?
Extremely.
So you're the head coach of the football team, huh?
Well, sort of, informally, because I'm always in and out of the country. But when
Okay.
I'm here, I'm always assisting.
So what is the most important attitude that you would like to somehow impart to athletes?
Well, I think Lou and I share the same basic value that if you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. Yeah. And sports is one of those. You have, in basketball, you have 40 minutes to do it right. In football, you have 90. And that's the philosophy. And the coaches that I had, you leave everything on the court. There's nothing before or after. So either you do it right or don't do it at all. Yeah.
And so you have yes, go ahead.
Yeah, you have to give all you have when you're out there on the court, out on the field, no matter what, like it's no tomorrow. If you get out there and give it 100%, do your best, no matter what is the outcome, at the end of the day, you can feel good about yourself. You can stand up and say, I did my best. And that's what we want them to do. We want them to give all they have when they're out there on the field. The same way we want them to give all they have while they're in the class.
Yes.
That comes first. So that's the same thing. We have the same philosophy, the same view. We want them to be the best student and then be the best athlete that they can be.
Okay.
Student first, athlete second.
All right. And they're no longer mama's boys?
They're still mama boys, and they will, I think they all will be mama boys. They still want to go home for their allowance. They still want to go ahead and have mama come feed them.
Correct.
But
it's a cultural thing, huh?
it is. it is. I'm getting used to it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what about the football? What's your dream for your football team? You have a women team and a
Men's and women, and all the way from grade school on up to college. It isn't just for football. We're doing sports because one of the things I realized also in the very beginning is on the international scene, the Philippines is non-existent, okay, basically, except maybe in Asia. And being a football player, you know, I always thought, how can that be? Because when I grew up, I learned football here, and in the 60s, football was pretty good in this country. And then now, well, now you have the ASCALs, but in early 2000, oh, it was pathetic. I remember the 13-1 loss to Indonesia. And so it isn't football. What we're looking at is, in our own little way, we're trying to develop a program that will prepare the kids potentially for the national team.
Oh.
That's what I'd like to see. You know, I mean, loose basketball teams, you know, a bunch of squirts, you know, compared to how basketball players should be. But hey, lack of physical attributes, I would say, is not really a hindrance to excelling in sport.
Correct, and they did prove that, you know.
Yes, yes. The same thing in football. Visayas is supposed to be the hotbed of generating a lot of football players, but I see a lot of football players that are barely 5'2".
Precisely. Yes.
But
They're
they perform
so cute
very
on
well.
the field.
Yeah, they perform very well. When I played in the U.S., I'm the smallest player in the field. I played a lot of guys who were 6'2", 6'4", and you know the challenges in playing someone that's bigger than you, faster than you. There's some really good life lessons there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, education is getting more expensive, ladies and gentlemen, so it's really important that we talk to people like Dean and Louise and everyone here at Foundation University that has an entirely different philosophy of how education has to be approached. And as we said, there was a time that Foundation University was excelling in sports, but we also realized that many of them are not really in school.
Yes.
And it was kind of difficult to
Well,
harmonize that.
It's hard to deny your history, okay? Things happen with or without you, okay? So, you know, rather than dwell on what we were in the past, I mean, I don't know if you can say we're proud of it or not proud of it, but it's there. Let's just say it's there. But today, we're not the same university. We're not the same university at all.
Have you gone 360 degrees?
Well, you know, the nice thing is in the football program, we have one person that graduated, I think 2 years ago. He graduated. He's now in Manila. He actually made the national team for the futsal team for the Philippines. I think a couple of seasons he played for the Philippines. So we're progressing. One of the unfortunate things is we're not in Manila, so it's very hard to get recognized at all. And on top of that, Manila is always taking from the province.
Right.
So
They're
it's
recruiting from the province.
Yeah, so it's hard for the provinces to develop because they're always getting poached.
Yeah.
Either getting poached or not recognized.
Or not
Or both.
recognized.
So,
Well, you're here and you're having a niche in this.
yeah, we are.
So what is your dream?
For sports?
No, not necessarily. As an educator, what's your dream for your school, Dean, and for
Well,
your students?
You know, my grandfather started this a long time ago as a equal opportunity institution. And I think we're beyond that. We're already beyond that. I would like to see, you know, our graduates just really have a huge impact in the community. I know many of our graduates, especially in education, are in many of the public schools. But I'd like to see our graduates go beyond that. I'd like to see many of our graduates be entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know many of our students come from less fortunate in terms of economics,
Right.
and it's a struggle. I'd like to see our graduates go back to their communities and change these communities, so that the level of poverty is nowhere near it is now. For me, it's frustrating to see generation after generation in the same poverty
Economic situation.
Yes, the same.
You send your children to school, and yet you're basically the same.
Yes, and my biggest frustration, and a lot of people again will be upset with my opinion on this, is, but I really see the OFW program as enslaving our people.
Where do you say that, Dean?
Well, you know, a lot of people will say, well, I'll just go to, let's say, Middle East for a couple of years, save up the money, and then do something else here, okay? Well, you know, and Luke can attest to this, you get used to the money, and you'll do anything for money at some point. And, you know, a lot of people that go off and work abroad are married with children. And sometimes it's both the mother and father that leave.
That goes out.
And to me, I mean, I have my own family. I could never think about both my wife and I leaving
Imagine,
our
leaving all
children
the kids behind.
Yeah, even to a trusted relative like a brother or a sister. I wouldn't. That's unthinkable for me. And the OFW, even though it did help economically, I think it's really hurt the country.
It is.
Yeah, it's really hurt the country, and I would love to see it just disappear tomorrow.
And we hope that our graduates would stay in the community and some will be able to help.
Yes, all the wealth of knowledge and intelligence just disappears and ends up being a truck driver or a DH, and to me, what a waste.
Right, it's sad. You graduate for an education course and then you go as a domestic helper. And that to me is really sad. So finally, Dean, 12 years have passed, you know, you were actually schooled in the U.S., you were doing well there, you decided to come back, and what would you think is your biggest contribution to Foundation?
I think just the paradigm shift in the way we think about everything. We have a philosophy that every problem has a solution. We have a philosophy that just because someone else is doing it this way, we don't necessarily have to do it that way also. We're always out-of-the-box thinkers, always. I think that's the biggest contribution I brought to Foundation, because quite frankly, when I came here, there were a lot of boxes.
Boxes to kick around.
Yeah, lots of boxes. And we still have a few boxes to open up, but it's much better, much better.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this will not be the first and the last that I will be talking to the chairman of the board of Foundation and the head coach of the football team and of course the coach of the basketball team. We will soon have a series of interviews maybe even among the students when we continue to practice. I'd like to thank our students. These are the production group. Why don't we give them a big hand, you know? You know who you are, the director, the ladies and gentlemen behind the cameras, and of course the mama's boys of Luis and the broadcasting class. Thanks a lot to Alex Pal for facilitating this interaction direct from this beautiful studio, Foundation University. So Dean, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure, and thank you, Luis, and thank you to Takeshi, and thank you also to the students who have helped produce this show for Sky Cable. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been our special edition of Public Affairs direct from the studio, Foundation University. So on behalf of our Sky Cable crew and of course the Greyhound crew, our studio technicians, our broadcast students, and everyone who are here, my name is Glynda, thanking you all for watching.